Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 20th August 2018. The first issue in news is an editorial regarding simultaneous elections. The issue is in news because recently the Chief Election Commissioner has ruled out the possibility of holding simultaneous elections to the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies, highlighting various challenges like the requirement of a legal framework for the extension or curtailment of the term of any assembly, which will require a wide political consensus as well as legislative cooperation from various parties in the state as well as the central government. This would be particularly challenging in case of states where the governments have been elected in a recently conducted election. Adding to this, there is a logistical challenge with respect to the requirements of the additional number of electronic voting machines and an equivalent number of voter verifiable paper audit trail. The Election Commission has highlighted that new VVPAT units would only be available by November and it would take at least a month for the first round of checking of these machines for their use in the elections. While there is merit in the argument that simultaneous elections would reduce the administrative time lost and improve the focus on governance, but at the same time, issues like representative democracy and federalism have to be kept in mind, and therefore, given the various procedural and logistical challenges, the government should instead focus on basic electoral reforms and find ways to curb excessive election expenditure. On that note, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the recent All India Rural Financial Inclusion Survey conducted by NABARD. The survey shows that more than half the agricultural households in the country have outstanding debt, and the average outstanding debt is almost as high as the average annual income of all the agricultural households. The number is significant if you consider the definition of agricultural households, which is basically households having at least one member self-employed in agriculture and receive more than rupees 5,000 as the value of produce from agricultural activities in a year. This translates to 48% being defined as agricultural households, and as per the recent survey, the average annual income of an household is just around 1 lakh rupees, which is barely rupees 2,500 more than the average outstanding debt of these agricultural households. Further, the survey found that only 10.5% of these agricultural households were found to have a valid Kisan credit card, which is aimed at providing credit to farmers from banks at a flexible rate of interest. Farmers borrow for a variety of reasons, but the biggest reason of all is with respect to capital expenditure for agricultural purposes, for which a quarter of all the loans have been taken. The next issue news is regarding the advanced medium combat aircraft to be built by the Defense Research and Development Organization by the year 2032. The aircraft will feature geometric stealth and will build on the capabilities and expertise which were developed during the development of the light combat aircraft. This is India's only fifth generation fighter aircraft following the decision to not go ahead with the procurement of fifth generation aircraft from Russia due to cost as well as technology transfer issues. In a related development, India has successfully flight tested the anti-tank guided missile Helena. Helena stands for Helicopter Launched Nag Missile, which is said to be one of the most advanced anti-tank weapons. The missile is guided by an infrared image seeker and has been tested for its full range. The next issue news is regarding the recent map published by the Central Pollution Control Board, which has revealed that major stretches of the river Ganga in West Bengal as well as in states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar is unfit for even bathing activities. The map was published after the National Green Tribunal had asked the National Mission for Clean Ganga authorities to set up a display board along the banks of river Ganga to indicate whether the water was fit for bathing or drinking. In this regard, the CPCP guidelines states that The water is fit for bathing when the following conditions are fulfilled, like the amount of fecal coliform bacteria should not be more than 2500 per 100 ml. The dissolved oxygen is not more than 5 mg per liter. The biochemical oxygen demand is less than 3 milligrams per liter. And finally, the pH level measurement of how acidic the water is between 6.5 to 8.5. As per the map published, the water in several stretches have failed to meet these guidelines, thereby highlighting the level of pollutants in these stretches. The development comes at a time when the center has claimed that the Namami Gange project, with a budget of over 20,000 crores, has achieved considerable success, thereby giving rise to several questions. The final issue in news today is regarding relief work carried out in Kerala as the rains have finally started to gradually decrease. The challenge ahead is to rebuild the lives as well as the infrastructure for which a large quantum of funds is a prerequisite. The state government has requested funds from the general public based on compassionate grounds, and people willing to donate should go forward and make their contribution. In a related development, relief activities were carried out by the NDRF, the Army, and the Navy in several districts of Kodagu and Madikeri of Karnataka following inundation due to heavy rains and discharge of water from several dams. On that note, I'm wrapping up today's news analysis. Do like, share, and comment to support this initiative. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.